Welcome to the Body Peace Podcast, formerly known as Her Story on a Plate. This podcast has always been a space for deep, nuanced conversations about food, body image, and the stories our bodies carry. But as conversations have grown, so has our mission.
That's why this is now the Body Peace Podcast, a name that reflects what we're truly here for, helping you step off the battlefield with your body and move toward more compassion, connection, and ease.
Each episode will bring real, honest dialogue with your hosts, me, I'm Jennie Kramer,
and me, Nina Manolson. We'll also be joined by guests whose personal stories and professional wisdom offer new ways of thinking, feeling, and being in your body.
We're so glad you're here. Welcome to the Body Peace Podcast. Hi, everyone. It's Jennie and Nina, just us today, you lucky folks. We are talking about what it's like to be in front of the camera, whether it's video, stills, doesn't matter. How so many of us just avoid being in front of that camera, that somehow it's just going to be this horrible experience. We don't like how it's going to look, and we don't want there to be this permanent record for all of time in memoriam about how we're going to look. And of course, it's based on our hypercritical lens that we see ourselves through. So, Nina, I'm wondering what your experience with this has been.
Well, I want to say that the theme of this podcast came because Jennie and I finally got to meet each other in person. Jennie lives in the New York area. I live in Boston. Jennie came to Boston. And of course, I was like, oh my gosh, Jennie, let's get a photo shoot together for our podcast.
Now, just so you know, all you did was say that to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought rather quietly, oh God. I thought, oh God. And then the next thought I had was, you're not allowed to think that. You do this for a living. How could you be thinking, oh God? And then the third thought I had was, ease up, honey. You're a human being, right? But that is really what my reaction was.
Okay. I want to break that down because it's so compelling, right? One is the, right? I'm going to be visible. I'm going to be seen with every part of me, right? Every wrinkle, every like little bit of me that I may not think is up to snuff, right? It may not fit the expectation, right? Then, wait, what was step 2 that you had?
I'm not allowed to think this. I do this for a living.
Right. So then again, professional expectation, right? I'm not allowed to be vulnerable. I should be above all this. Right. And then you opened the door to compassion. Oh,
sure.
Hello, I'm human too. Right. As we all are. And I want to say when I said, oh, let's do a photo shoot, I immediately go into like branding experience. Oh my gosh, what am I going to wear? Oh, is my hair going to be really floofy, or is it going to be curly, or like what the heck is it going to do that day? And then, and so that's the way, that is what I call body management. I start to manage the experience instead of, wow, now neither of us went, oh, this is so cool. We're going to be together. We will laugh hysterically, which is what we do most of the time together. Yes. We will laugh and have a great time in front of the camera. And what a cool learning experience. That was not our response.
No, not initially, but once we got into it, it certainly was. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. But it brought up for both of us this issue of how does it feel to have a photograph taken, right? Because so many of my clients look at pictures and it's actually what triggers them into body shame, which is someone took a picture of me, they posted it on social media, and I can't believe it. All I could see was my belly, right? That hyperfixation on a part of our body that we are critical about. Now, when we hyperfixate, what we're not seeing is the whole family that we're with, or the moment of joy, or the connection of other human beings or nature.
It's so interesting you say this. I had the experience recently of being in a group photo with folks I haven't seen since high school, and that is a long time ago. And what a joy and a wonderful time we had, and what a wonderful remembrance. and then they took the photo. And
Mhm.
everybody had their own version of, okay, wait to post this. Can we crop this first? Wait, can we do this to it first? Can we do that to it first?
Mhm.
As if we posted it the way it was, that the
Yeah.
world would think, oh, those poor people, they are just so ugly. They're just so misshapen. They're just whatever they are. That isn't what happens. When people see something like that and they say, oh my gosh, you guys haven't seen each other in what, 40 years? Like, wow, that's
Yes.
great.
Right.
That's all people saw. But it's
Yes.
interesting that that's not what our initial responses was. Every one of us had the same response.
Right. So again, this it's the response of zooming way in, right? Of oh my gosh, can we just put a filter on that? Can we
Mm,
get rid of our wrinkles? Can we get rid of the extra lines, the double chins? Can we erase the reality of what humans actually look like? Right? That's that zooming in. And what we want to do, which is what you said everybody did when they looked at the pictures, they were at the zoom out place, which is wow, what a moment. What an experience. And I want to say that zoom in high expectation, that's not ours to hold or to uphold. That
mm,
literally comes from our media, straight up, right?
you bet.
I grew up on it, and I grew up on 17 magazine. And so this is what you were supposed to look like. And I look in the mirror and wow, I did not look like that. And so
Well, and now, I mean, my
oh
gosh,
my gosh, and
the
oh, the
expectations
generation.
are astronomical, right? So there's diet culture that's always around us. There's
Yes.
photoshopping. There's AI. I mean, we don't even know when we're looking at someone if that's actually the real way they look. But it's important not to set your expectations against something that isn't even real.
Yeah.
To look at something that you think is the way you should look when it's been doctored, it's been changed, the color, the shaping, it's been trimmed. I mean, there's so much that can be done to a photo.
Yeah.
And you might think to yourself, well, that's good because then I can change it the way I want. Yeah, you can. Of course you can. That's your right. And what about why we have photos to begin with? They are to memorialize an experience. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're doing a posed photo, which is something else. When you take a photo or a video, it's to memorialize the experience,
Yeah.
so that it's not just in your photos in your mind, but you have a way of replaying it.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that you're bringing up, Jenny, is so important to dig down a little bit deeper is this idea of how AI is impacting us, right? What's real and what's not.
Mm,
And do we want to take a stand personally for authenticity? Right?
mm,
Do
brilliant.
we want to step into, you know what? This is what it's like to be a human being on this planet. Welcome to real life. I am
Yes.
taking a stand for being in the juiciness of a human body in on a planet with gravity, with years going by, with illness, with injury, with all the things that happen to human beings versus living in an alternate reality that looks airbrushed. Frankly, that's not so juicy to me.
I know we've said this before on other episodes, but I can never say it enough times, and that is, remember that this body that you're in, that we're in, has had so many experiences. And this exquisite body holds that furtive brain that you have. It has perhaps allowed you to birth children. It has allowed you to fight illness. It has allowed you to grieve. It has allowed you to be productive in whatever ways you want. It has allowed you to be athletic if that's what you wanted. The
Yeah.
point is that your body has been through so much. Imagine looking at your body through the summary of its experiences rather than how you think it looks by comparison to others, by comparison to other people, your size, your age, your whatever is your category. Imagine if you could just look at you and say, kind of cute.
What you're talking about is beauty, right? When you talk about the depth of experience that our body goes through, I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful,
Mm,
right? Whereas our culture defines what is beauty, right? Our
mm,
influencers define what is beauty. our marketing in the magazines and the online define what is beauty. But let's reclaim that. Let's say,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I'm going to define what is beautiful. And frankly, a body that has been through stuff is a thing of exquisite beauty,
You
right?
bet.
And I think about all the people that I really, really enjoy in life. I
Mm.
enjoy people who've been through stuff because they've grown, they've learned, they have depth, they have examined life, right? I find that incredibly sexy, incredibly beautiful, incredibly interesting. Those are the people that I'm like, oh, I want to get to know you more, right?
Ironically, you're describing people who are layered. You have layers. It's good to have layers. Do you know, I'm reminded of the movie, I'm about to age myself. Do you remember a movie called Cocoon?
Yes.
In this movie, there's the scene where, you know, these aliens, if you will, that have been preserved. Um, when you open the egg, what comes out, or you open the human skin that they're in, it sounds awful, but it was actually quite beautiful, is just the essence of who they are in this sort of like blue avatar. Just it's sort of their inner being. That's what comes through
Yes.
in a photo. It's not about what you were wearing, whether your makeup was okay, what color was your hair, what was the angle, should I have used this side of my nose, that side of my nose. It's not about that. Oh, how many chins did I have? It's about the essence of who you are being and who you are and the cumulative being that you are up until that very moment.
Mm,
When you really look through a compassionate lens, that's what you see come
mm.
through. And I
And
promise you that at the end of our lifetimes, when people we love are rummaging through photos, whether it's real photos or digital, however it is,
mhm,
they're going to be very disappointed when they say, I don't see many pictures of him or her.
yeah.
I really don't. How come? I would love to have seen more. I would love to have seen me in a picture with her. I wonder why those aren't there. Because I promise you, when they look at them in your absence after you're gone, all they see is the beauty and the essence. They don't look at that and say, you know what, she really should be dead because she looks terrible.
Oh
They just
gosh, ouch.
they're just not going to do that.
So
So
let's
it's
get a
really
little bit
it's an
practical.
opportunity.
It
Yeah.
is an opportunity. So let's get a practical because I love that, like how allowing ourselves to show our essence, allowing our soul to be visible, right? Instead of like, oh my gosh, I've got to put on all these filters in order to be acceptable. Knowing
Mm.
fundamentally that our soul is exquisite and way more than acceptable. It's needed in the world. So let's get practical about how do we, when we're getting in front of the camera, when we're looking at a picture, what do we want to be doing?
I think part of it starts with acceptance. And let me say what I mean about acceptance. Acceptance is not um, a giving in. It's not like you're resigning yourself. Acceptance is a hearty way to say, this is me in this moment. I can't be any different than who I am in this moment. This is me, and take it or leave it. It's an acquired taste, but it's really about this is what you get. This is me, all
Ownership.
of me, all of me.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
complete ownership of self. This is who I am. And and that statement is very powerful.
Mm.
Oh, this is who I am. Yep. And when we look at somebody who took a picture from like an angle that you would not have chosen yourself, you're like, "Oh, that's who I am from that angle." Not necessarily an angle I would have chosen for myself. And my brother comes at me with a camera, and I'm like, "Can you raise the camera? Like, have you ever taken a picture of a woman over 50? Like, lift that camera up. I do not need all of my chin and neck showing to the entire world, right? Am I managing the situation? Yes. And am I saying, this is how I prefer to be seen? But sometimes I don't get that choice. Sometimes it's
But
like you said.
but you're saying something else too. Underneath this is a statement about aging, isn't it? Right? And so, you know, you've had experiences, many of us have had experiences where we thought maybe our lives were going to be shortened.
Yes.
And so when we realize that aging is a privilege and that it's an honor, it ain't about how many rings are in the neck, like a tree. It's really about we made it. We're here. We're still here.
We're still here. Yeah.
The tree got you. The tree sounds funny.
Yes, the tree in the neck that got me into giggles. But it's interesting because I took a picture of my mom. My mom's 92. I took a picture of my
Mm,
mom and I
God
showed
bless.
it to her. I know she's amazing. I said, "Do you like that picture?" She said, "Any picture that has me in it, I think is awesome."
There it is. But
Hmm.
oh my gosh! But you see, there it is.
Hmm.
She's very in touch with. There may come a time, I hope in a long time from now, but
Right,
there may come a time when you don't have the opportunity to snap a photo. So she's like, great, snap away.
right. I'm in the picture. I am still in the picture. It is
What's that
important.
song? I'm Still Here. Don't make me sing, but it's called I'm Still Here. It's a great song. Yes, but that's the point, right?
Hmm.
So imagine if you can have an awareness of that when you're 20 and 30 and 40 and
Hmm.
50,
Yep.
that, there's no guarantees, all right?
No.
It's not maudlin. It's actually inspiring to
Yes.
think, how do I peel away the layers of judgment and lack of compassion and
Yes.
just be in my life?
Yes, yes. And
That's really
it's
the point.
interesting because
Yeah.
we're talking about a lot of different things here, right? One is the vulnerability of being
Mm,
in front of a camera. The
mm,
other is the privilege of being in front of a camera, being
mm.
alive and having a body and being able to be seen and be part of our own history, our family's history, be part of the picture. And then the other thing that we're bringing up is this piece around aging, expectation, and also how do we look at ourselves, right? We can say, like I'm saying to my brother, can you shift the angle, that we do get to have some choices about how we want to be seen sometimes, but that doesn't make us good or bad.
By the way, I think it's important to say, just in case anybody didn't, realize this, social media is not real. Okay, so I'll repeat that. Social media is not real,
Yeah.
and it becomes these chosen snapshot moments of, isn't my life great?
Hmm.
And I hope your lives are great.
Yeah.
But think about the editing that goes into what we choose to post. I'm not saying that we should instead post, when we have COVID or we're having a fight with our partner, but just know that those are just frozen moments that are carefully chosen. I'm watching a lot now on social media where someone will make a montage of a famous person and how how they sing or how they've aged. Someone did this about Streisand. I saw it recently. They show her singing in her 30s, her 40s, her 50s, her 60s, her 70s, her 80s, or her now she's 82. And I look at it as someone who's an admirer, someone who's been following her since I was 7, and I think it's not amazing that her voice is still rich, and look at the maturity of the voice. I guarantee you she's looking at it and saying, "Oh my God, I have really changed
Hmm.
over 50 years." Well, I should hope so.
Yes, right. And that is absolutely a guarantee. Our bodies will change. We have ever-changing bodies. And if we could embrace that for ourselves and as a society,
Hmm.
how we might feel differently. Oh, look, that's the stage I'm in now. Oh, that's where I'm at. Right? My hair is silver. I look at pictures and I'm like, wow, my hair was black. And I'm like, gosh, I look really different. And I do. It's a
Hmm.
different stage of my life.
I also want to raise this idea of projection, not to get all psychobabbly on us, right? But this idea that you have in your mind's eye what will happen when someone else sees the photo of you
Yes.
or the video of you.
Mhm.
They're going to think that and that and that, and they're going to have judgment, and they're not going to,
Mhm.
and they're going to be polite about it, or they won't be polite. All of that
Yeah,
is made up.
it is, but it's
All of
really
that is
worth
you criticizing you.
it is, but it's really worth drilling down all the way. Okay,
Mm.
so I'm taking a, let's just play it out. Got a picture taken. I post it. I'm like, oh my gosh, Jenny's going to see it and she's going to judge it. Okay, what might she say? Oh, she's going to say, I don't know, I look old or I have a double chin or whatever I'm imagining. Okay, so let's say Jenny's really judgy and she says, which she's not, but let's say she says all these things. Okay, so what if Jenny thinks that? Then what? Well, then she won't like me. Oh, okay. So if she's going to judge you on
Mm-hmm.
your appearance, is that
Mm-hmm.
somebody you want to be connected to? Right?
Ain't that the
We
truth?
need to take it down. We stop at
Right.
that place of they're going to think I am fat. Okay. People are judgy. We have a judgy society.
Mm.
Congratulations to us. And what's going to happen if people judge? And usually it's
It,
the fear I'm going to be alone, I'm not going to be loved, and I won't have success.
mm-hmm. I won't have success, right? See, there it is. It's always present. We have, I mean, look, this is the human experience, right? What is
Yeah.
the one thing we all have in common no matter what? We are actually going to die, right? But we don't actually think about it. In fact, our brains don't let us think about it often
No.
unless we have to
Yeah.
because it's too threatening, even though we know it's the ultimate truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a fear that's just always present.
Mm-hmm.
See, I really have this theory that if somehow we knew we were going to live forever, and that would not be a good thing either, but let's just say that we knew we were going to live forever, I really think people wouldn't care what they look like because there's this time frame in which we have to finish the product. And I don't like how it's coming out. But if I know that I can live forever, I can just keep, shifting it, improving it, changing it, whatever, or just accepting it.
Right.
So aging is underneath all of that. It's certainly in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
It's certainly in the cosmetic industry. It's most certainly in the diet industry.
Yeah.
And it's important to name that we are subject to and influenced by all of those industries and media and social media, all of it, all the time.
Right. And it's so
Yeah.
important to look at who's making money off of me feeling bad when I look at that picture. Oh, there's an $80 billion anti-aging industry. Well, hopefully we will age if we're lucky, right? So there's $80 billion being invested so that I feel bad, so that I buy the next anti-aging product. There's $72 billion being invested so that I will look at that picture and go, gosh, I better go on a diet, right? So who gains, right? It's the
So here's
follow the
here's
money
a,
idea.
for sure. Here's a practical tip I would like to suggest. In the first place, when you get up in the morning, maybe this isn't the best time to do it when you get up in the morning, but when you get up in the morning and you've brushed your teeth and you're sort of awake and alert, instead of looking into the mirror and saying, "Oh God, I have a lot to do. I have to put on makeup. I have to fix this."
Mm-hmm.
Instead, look in the mirror and say, "Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
What a great day ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to spend it with you." Can you
Right.
imagine?
Well,
Can't wait to spend it with you,
that's a different conversation,
isn't it?
right? It's
Yes.
it's literally if you and I got together, right? We're about to record a podcast, and what do we say to each other? How are you? How's it going? It's so nice to see you. If we started the conversation with, "Oh, it's you,"
Can you imagine how exciting that would be?
well, that wouldn't open. It's not a win friends and influence people kind of moment, you know?
And I really have, I want to say, I have a tremendous, tremendous amount of empathy and compassion for people who uh, will not wear a bathing suit,
Yeah.
will not allow themselves to move their bodies in a way that they might love to, whether it's to dance, whether it's to swim, whatever it may be, that they tend to be reclusive and not have a social experience to the degree they would like simply because of what they think they look like. Key phrase there, what you think you look like.
Yeah.
What you think is what you project.
Yeah.
So I humbly invite you to come back into the world and just be you, all of you.
Yeah.
Be all of you, because that's what people will attract to,
Yeah.
not the color of your hair or what shirt you're wearing or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
See yourself through the lens of compassion. See
Mm.
yourself through the lens of gratitude that you exist in a body. Right?
And if you can't use the lens of gratitude, use a filtered lens, right? No, wrong advice. No, that's not what we want you to do. Do not use a filtered lens. No, it's the opposite. Now, but in all
Yeah.
seriousness, we all have tough times with seeing ourselves in a frozen moment, in a photo, in a video, whatever it may be. It may not reflect what you see in your mind's eye, and that's okay,
Yeah.
because your world loves you exactly as you are. And if they don't deserve to be in your world, in your orbit.
Yeah, absolutely. Zoom out and see the big picture, all
Mm.
the love and the care that's in there for you. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a delight. Jennie, another yummy conversation. I love it. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being here. See you soon. We're so glad you joined us on this episode of Body Peace.
Stay connected as we continue exploring what it means to live in your body with more ease, trust, and care by subscribing to Body Peace on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen.
Be sure to visit us at bodypeacepodcast.com for special bonus content for those on our mailing list.